morning, Freedom Forgers. Hey, it's Patriot Gal here. And this morning we are going to cook a wonderful paleo breakfast. So what you're going to do is you're going to have all your ingredients ready. It makes this much easier. What we've got here is some diced butternut squash, some diced onion, some diced apple, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. I've got some sage here, and I've got some Himalayan sea salt. I've pre-melted some coconut oil, about a tablespoon of coconut oil, a tablespoon of bacon grease into this cast iron pan. And we're just going to dump our butternut squash in here. And I've preheated the oven to 400 degrees. Onion and our apple. And we're just toss that to coat that with the coconut oil and the bacon grease. Just get that mixed up real good. And we're going to put that in the 400 degree oven. And we're going to let that roast for about 15 minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and toss it again. Put a little bit of salt on it. That will help break down the tissue in the vegetables. We're going to wait on our sugar. We're going to put that in last because sugar tends to burn pretty easily. So I'm just going to take about that many sage leaves. We're going to crush that up, sprinkle that around. Oh, the aroma of that is so good. And again, just give that a little toss. Just kind of incorporate that a little bit. All right, so we're going to pop that into the oven, and we'll be on to our next step. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, so we've got our butternut squash, apple, and onions roasting in the oven at 400 degrees, all diced up in some bacon and coconut oil. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this pork chop, and this is partially frozen. We're just going to bone this out. And so I'm going to get this diced up, and we will be right back. I'm just going to cut this into thin strips. So stand by. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we've got our pork chop all thinly sliced. And you can just see how small those pieces are. They're about a 1/4 inch on each side and maybe an inch, inch and a quarter long. You want them fairly small. They're going to shrink after you fry these up. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this and we're going to fry it on the stove and pre-cook that before we add it to our roasting vegetables. So I'm going to get that done and we'll be right back. So we're just going to go ahead and put the sliced pork chop into an iron skillet here. This has already been heating at medium heat. We're going to give this a quick stir fry and just kind of brown the outside. We're not going to really try too much to cook the pork all the way through. So I'm going to get that done and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I've got the pork chop strips all stir fried and they are ready to be added to the dish. And so what we're going to do is we're going to wait just about 15 more minutes. I've already turned the vegetables one time. After 15 minutes, I'm going to wait another 15 minutes, turn them again, and then we're going to add the pork to the apple and the butternut squash. Now, the butternut squash, onions, and apples have been in the oven roasting for about 30 minutes. And, ooh, I wish you could be here to smell this. It's delicious. So we're going to give that a quick little toss, and then we're going to add our pork into that. Just going to scrape our pork into there. And we're going to give that, just kind of spread that around. We're going to incorporate that into the dish. Just kind of make sure the meat's evenly distributed there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, sprinkle that over top. And you know, this is a paleo dish. If you wanted to leave the sugar out, you could do that. But the brown sugar just makes it so yummy. So it might not be completely paleo, but hey, we don't deal in extremes around here. So we've got our brown sugar on, and we're going to sprinkle that with a little bit of cinnamon. And you can just do that to your taste. And I did give it a little test taste, and it seemed like it needed a little bit more salt. So we're going to crack some more sea salt, give that a toss, kind of incorporate that in, and it's going to go back in the oven for another 15 minutes, and we'll see what it looks like at that point. So let me go ahead and get that done, let that time expire, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, guys, our butternut, apple, onion, and pork roast dish is done, and it is beautiful. The onions are all caramelized. The squash is tender. The apples are succulent. It is just beautiful, and it smells so good. So we're going to go ahead and give this a little taste here. Boy, I wish you guys were here to taste this with me. Make sure we get a little pork in there. Oh, it is delicious. So there you go, guys. A roast butternut squash, apple, pork, onion breakfast dish that is mostly paleo. You can leave the sugar out if you want to be completely paleo. But trust me, this is a winner. So give it a try. You can do this and eat healthier. And the nice thing is you can grow pork, you can grow butternut squash, and you can grow onions. And I will put a video up above that you can look and see how I grew the giant onions this year. Don't forget, if you want to listen to audio versions of How to Forge Your Freedom, you can do that over at forgingfreedompodcast.com and listen to our podcast. If you don't want to miss an episode of how to cook yummy things and to do other things to forge your freedom, don't forget to subscribe. Hope you're having a great day, and go out today and do something to forge your freedom. Bye now.